You know that moment when someone pushes you too far, when you're in pain, exhausted, and still told to suck it up? That's exactly where I was. My leg was barely healed after surgery. I could barely stand, but my shift leader didn't care. She told me, unless you have a doctor's note, you're not going anywhere. The thing is, I did have one, and that day on our busiest shift of the week, I decided I was done. If you've ever been disrespected at work, ignored when you were struggling, or treated like your pain didn't matter, hit that like button, because this is one of the most satisfying workplace revenge stories you'll ever hear. It all started a few months ago when I got some of the worst news of my life. Back in January, doctors found a tumor in my left tibia, my shin bone. At first, I didn't believe it. I was young, healthy, working hard. But the surgeon looked me dead in the eye and said, if you keep working like this, that bone could snap. So I did what anyone would. I took time off. Surgery came in June, and it wasn't easy. The pain, the fear of not being able to walk again, all haunted me. But after months of recovery, physical therapy, and endless nights spent wondering if I'd ever feel normal again, I finally got the all-clear to go back to work. The doctor said, you're okay, but take it easy. That leg is still healing. So, when I returned to my job as a curbside shopper, I was nervous but determined. I just wanted things to go back to normal. Unfortunately, normal was not what I got. The shift leader from hell. My shift leader, let's call her Amanda, had always been the kind of person who mistook authority for cruelty. You know the type. Arms crossed, tone sharp, always reminding you she's in charge. During my first few days back, she barely said a word to me. But I noticed the looks, that silent judgment, whenever I took a second longer to carry something. It was like she thought my injury was a joke. Then came Sunday, our busiest day of the week. The parking lot was packed. Orders were nonstop. And I'd been running on my feet for over an hour when I felt it, that sharp, searing pain in my leg. It was like someone drove a knife straight through my bone. I winced, tried to hide it, but I couldn't even walk straight. So I went to Amanda and said quietly, hey, can I take my break a little early? My leg's killing me. She didn't even look up from her clipboard. She just said, we're all in pain. This is a team effort. You can't go on break early unless you have a doctor's note. My hands started shaking. I could feel my throat tightening. Because I did have a doctor's note, signed, dated, everything. It had been in my employee file since I came back. But she didn't care. She wanted control. Breaking point. 5 minutes later, she finally waved me off with a sigh. Fine. Go. 15 minutes. I limped to the break room, sat down, and for the first time that day, I just breathed. 15 minutes of silence. Staring at the clock, feeling that mix of pain and rage building inside me. I thought about every time I'd shown up early. Every time I'd covered for someone else. Every time I'd swallowed disrespect just to keep the peace. And then I thought about how she looked at me when I asked for that break. Like I was weak. That was it. I was done. When my timer went off, I didn't go back to work. I went straight to the manager's office. I looked him in the eye and said, I'm done. I quit. He blinked confused and said, wait, right now? On a Sunday? I just nodded. Yeah, right now. Then I walked out, clocked out, and for the first time in months, my leg didn't hurt anymore. The fallout. 5 minutes later, I heard my name being paged over the intercom. Once, twice, 3 times. I actually laughed, because for once, I wasn't the one panicking. By the time I was at the checkout, grabbing a few groceries before heading home, my main boss walked in. His face was red. He looked furious, not at me, but at the situation. He saw me at the register, gave me a cold glance, and turned away. Didn't say a word. Didn't even try to stop me. Because deep down, he knew I was right. Amanda had pushed one too many people too far. And losing me on the busiest day of the week sent a message louder than anything I could have said. The sweet revenge. The next week, I found out from an old co-worker that chaos erupted that day. Orders piled up. Customers complained. Amanda had to stay late, cover my shift, sweating through the mess she helped create. I can't lie, when I heard that, it felt good. It wasn't just revenge, it was justice. Because sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is simply walk away. You don't always have to fight to make a point. Sometimes quitting is the loudest statement you can make. And in that moment, on the busiest day of the week, I walked out with my head held high and left karma to do the rest. If this story hit you in the heart, hit that like button and subscribe for more satisfying revenge stories like this. And tell me in the comments, have you ever had a boss who pushed you too far? Because trust me, sometimes walking away is the sweetest revenge.